Do you like birds? Let us appreciate these bizarre avians. Guianan cock of the rock. The Guianan cock of the rock is native to Colombia, Venezuela, southern Guyana, and northern Brazil. Both males and females can be instantly recognized by their constantly erect crest, which covers their broad-based bill. Male birds have an incredibly bright orange color. Meanwhile, females are brown, sport smaller crests, and have a black yellow-tipped beak. Named after their dependence on huge boulders and rocky caves for breeding, Guianan cocks of the rock spend a lot of time on courtship. Up to 50 males participate in communal leks, which consist of combat and dancing displays. Females prefer males that display dominance by controlling the center of the lek. Communications between Guianan cocks of the rock contain a large variety of sounds. They can snap their beaks to create a popping sound. At leks, males utter loud, crowing, chicken-like noises. While foraging, the Guianan cock of the rock is known to give out loud sounds which have been likened to a rubber duck being strangled. Their favorite meals are fruits and berries, but if none are available, the birds will settle for insects, small reptiles, or frogs. Inca Tern. Named after its habitat, which used to be ruled by the ancient Inca Empire, this bird can only be found near the Humboldt Current. Inca terns have adapted to hunting for anchovies and other small fish by plunge diving into the cold current waters. They sometimes also scavenge for remains left by dolphins and sea lions. From a distance, this avian may seem like any other ordinary bird species, but up close, it is impossible to miss the Inca tern's most unusual feature, a dashing white mustache. Both male and female birds grow the mustaches. This highly social species nests in colonies of several thousand birds, typically laying eggs in cliff hollows or fissures. Although the Inca tern is not considered to be under threat of extinction, the reduction of anchovy stocks due to overfishing could have a serious impact on their population size. Cats and rats on some of the islands can also prevent nesting. In 2009, the Peruvian government created the Guano Islands and Capes National Reserve, which protects Inca tern and sea lion colonies on 28 guano islands and cliffs. Amazonian royal flycatcher. Even though all royal flycatchers are fairly similar, some experts divide them into 4 subspecies based on geographical location. The Amazonian royal flycatcher is widespread in northern and central South America east of the Andes. They primarily inhabit humid and deciduous lowland forests. Royal flycatchers can be recognized by a unique ornate crest which ranges among various shades of red and orange. The crest is usually reclined, giving the flycatcher a hammerhead appearance. When raised, the crest has a distinctive fan shape. Besides location, Amazonian royal flycatchers are distinguished by their cinnamon-colored rump and tail. These avians are also smaller and darker than other flycatchers. Males have exclusively red crests, and females have orange ones. As their name suggests, royal flycatchers primarily feed on insects. Although this species is described as uncommon, Amazonian royal flycatchers are not under any significant threat. That could be partly attributed to their habit of nesting on branches above water, which helps with the safety of young birds. Sri Lankan frogmouth. The Sri Lankan frogmouth can only be found in the dense tropical forests of India and Sri Lanka. It is no secret how the frogmouth got its name, with a head as wide as its body and a large, gaping mouth. Males are gray and heavily spotted with white, while females sport a rusty red color and sparse white freckling. They are also equipped with a broad, hooked, flattened bill. These nocturnal birds spend most of the day resting on branches and prey on insects at night. The Sri Lankan frogmouth is not considered to be a vulnerable species, but the recent trend of replacing shade-grown coffee plantations with more profitable tea plantations has demolished some of the bird's native forests. Other threats to their habitat are caused by cultivation, forestry operations, fires, and grazing. In the 19th century, the frogmouth was found only in Sri Lanka. The bird has been spotted farther and farther north in recent years, which has been attributed to climate change. Another animal species, the brown-palmed civet, has been observed moving farther north as well. Scientists are concerned that these habitat shifts could be global warming growth indicators. Magnificent Frigatebird. The magnificent Frigatebird uses its deeply forked tail to effortlessly steer through tropical breezes. It prefers to fly along the coast of the southern U.S., Mexico, and the Caribbean when winds are at their strongest, keeping the birds aloft. This allows them to remain in the air for up to 2 months without a single landing. Since magnificent frigatebirds do not have waterproof feathers, they avoid landing in water. Wet frigatebirds are unable to fly. Instead, they feed by harassing other birds for food and snatching it in midair. It takes a lot of practice to become a sky pirate, so young frigatebirds chase each other with sticks. When one bird drops the stick, another one catches it. The most distinguishable magnificent frigatebird feature is a large, bright red throat pouch which males inflate to attract females. It is also the only seabird with a significant difference in appearance between genders. Females are usually larger than males and have a white throat instead of the red pouch. Helmeted hornbill. Helmeted hornbills are large, noisy birds confined to the pristine forest habitats of Brunei, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Myanmar. The structure on a hornbill's beak is called a casque, which is French for helmet. Unlike other hornbill species, the casque of helmeted hornbills is solid and heavy, accounting for more than 10% of the animal's weight. The helmeted hornbill can be recognized by its bizarre facial features and long central tail feathers. The wrinkled skin on its throat, known as a gular pouch, is used to carry items of food back to the nest. The pouch is red for male birds and turquoise for females. These fruit-loving avians are very picky. Only the finest lowland tropical rainforests with plenty of fruiting trees provide a suitable habitat. During incubation, the female helmeted hornbill is sealed in her nest with mud. The male then supplies her with food by regurgitating fruit from his throat pouch through a small opening to the nest. Due to high demand from China for carvings made from the bird's casque, the helmeted hornbill has become critically endangered. The species has a very slow reproductive rate, and small amounts of poaching can disproportionately reduce their numbers. More than 30 wildlife conservation organizations are doing everything in their power to keep this species alive. Hoatzin. Hoatzins are widespread and fairly common throughout Central South America. They often sit in the open but retreat to denser cover if threatened. The bird can typically be found in trees and shrubs along rivers and lakes. Although the Hoatzin may appear fearsome, it is not skilled at flying, and its movements can be described as awkward. Visually, the bird is distinguished by a loose crest, bright blue facial skin, and red eyes. However, the bird's most unusual feature is its multi-chambered stomach. Hoatzins are sometimes referred to as flying cows because they feed on young leaves and buds, which are digested with the aid of bacteria and microbes. It is the only bird in the world that can survive by eating nothing but leaves. As if having a bovine digestive system was not enough, Hoatzins are also born with claws on their wings. Young Hoatzins can swim and often jump into the water when faced with danger. Then they use the claws to climb back into trees. Wing claws used to be a common feature in ancient birds, but this species has managed to maintain them over generations. The claws are lost when the Hoatzin matures. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.